Beautiful. And this is our first live onto Twitch where Adi's kid plays and streams games onto. So let's see if we get some Twitch followers as well. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We got Adi and we got Reza joining as well with his very low quality streaming there. But it's all right. You'll get it as we go. Adi, what's happening?
Hello, everybody, and happy 2026. Been one of the craziest years, and I can't believe it. I can't believe we survived the first half of the year.
So it's halfway through the year and you're welcoming people into 2026.
Promise you. I don't know what's going on this year.
He actually has no idea what happened the other 6 months. That's why he's welcoming everyone now. He just got to 2026. That's what he's trying to say.
I must have made about 2,000 cups of tea for my kids this year alone, at least.
Tea is better than coffee. My kid has now figured out how to use an espresso machine.
Well done to him.
I've got something to talk about tonight.
Go for it, gents. You guys lead.
But first, I want to hear how everybody's day was.
My day was good. Just busy.
Also busy.
My side good, just busy as always.
How was your day, Adi?
It was a holiday today, so we slept in for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
It was chilled. I didn't do much. It was good. I had a great day. You know, you don't realize what a great day it is until you've had some crap days. And I don't normally have crap days, but I had like one a few months ago, and it like stuck with me. So I had a fantastic day. I just chilled. We played some TV games. I didn't do any DIY, and I spent the whole day eating, basically.
Beautiful.
I had all sorts of DIY. I was full of DIY.
Yeah, but for you, but you're all about DIY. DIY seems to be the thing that makes you happy.
Definitely
He's literally taken our lodge and rebuilt this entire lodge in every possible way that he possibly could. And he's done it himself, Mr. Handyman. Record Reza. Record Rolf, Record Reza. All right, Adi, you're the master of topics.
Thank you very much. So tonight, gentlemen, we are going to dig deep. We're going to create a bit of meaning. We've got 3 questions here that reveal who you really are. I'm going to mention the 3 questions, and then we're going to talk about one of them at a time. Question number 1. What is something you're absolutely certain of today that you may laugh at in 10 years? Okay. And we're going to talk about humility, growth, and why the ability to change your mind may be one of the most valuable skills you can develop. Then we're going to go into question number 2. What has been the most expensive lesson of your life? There we're going to talk about mistakes, setbacks, and experiences, painful ones that taught us more than any mentor, university, or book besides Farash's book ever could. Okay?
Be epic.
And then question number 3. Yeah.
No, I'm saying be epic. My book there.
Thank you. And then question number 3. Would you rather be liked or respected? There we're going to look at the trade-off between approval and authenticity, why so many people sacrifice respect to gain acceptance, and how genuine confidence allows us to pursue both, basically, without depending on either. And so we're going to start with question number 1. We can do rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and see which question we're going to do first. But let's just start with number 1. You guys can choose who's going to go first. What is something you're absolutely certain of today that you may laugh at in 10 years?
Yes, that's actually very well. As of late, with the global power changes and the shifts in the world, there was a time where we used to think the reliance of the Western world and their knowledge and technology was the way of the future. But that also seems to be changing drastically every day. But that's not going to be my answer. My answer is something that I would possibly laugh at in 10 years is the importance of social media today. Because if you actually watch what's happening with social media, the whole spectrum of its importance is actually starting to fade. It's no more that excitement and care for people's opinions, and things are actually starting to become a lot more deeper. And it's actually starting to become more news platforms and communication platforms than what they originally were of a social networking platform. And that's the direction that I'm starting to see that social media is going in. It's no more pointing towards the social networking systems, but becoming actual communication tools internally amongst your own team and externally of the messages you want to communicate. And inevitably, with that, it's the glitter is going to fade of the influencers and the people that do the dances and talk about silly things. And social media should become a little bit more serious, in my opinion, in the next 10 years. That's the one that I see.
Gents, to be honest, everything that we are worrying about at the moment or talking about at the moment is going to be completely irrelevant in 10 years' time. So you're going to laugh about everything that you're going through, regardless of what it may be. So big or small, whatever you're going through right now, 10 years down the line, it's going to mean almost nothing. And I want to say almost nothing. There will be some sort of a, what's the word, sting to it, but you're going to laugh about all of these experiences. The fact that you had a very bad day, that's going to mean nothing. The fact that you woke up this morning and you slept in and you ate and you didn't do DIY, it's all going to be nothing. So in 10 years' time, everything that you're going through right now, that's all going to be funny. And you're going to laugh about it. You're going to say, do you remember that time we were sitting, the three of us, AJ was talking about social media and the glitches and so on. And so all of these is irrelevant because even tomorrow, some of the things that you're going through today is going to mean nothing. That's my answer.
I can give you an amen to that. Things that 10 years ago that used to matter to me, I don't even remember them anymore. So amen to that one.
There was that video where the guy was walking like on a mountain and it says, everything that you've built will be gone in 100 years. And the thing that you cared so much about will be gone, and your children will be gone, and it like makes you think like, geez, all this effort that I'm putting in, it's going to be forgotten anyway. So you may as well just do you remember that one? So it's kind of along the same point. I like that a lot.
It's along the same point, but there is also the saying of the last person that says your name for the last time is when you're truly buried. And in essence, what that saying is getting around is that it's all about your legacy. Because you and I made a joke just now, Adi, and you mentioned Julius Caesar's name, and we're still speaking about that man 2,000 years later. So theoretically, that man has not left. That man has theoretically the same as an Achilles or Alexander the Great or Genghis Khan or Cyrus, the Persian conqueror. These guys have never really died. They found the fountain of immortality, and it was not about their physical existence or being around physically, but that you still know their names 2,000 years later. And what
Let me
that
ask you a
came,
question.
came from is
Why do
legacy.
people want to be remembered? That's the whole thing. So the question is, do you want to be remembered? because I mean, you're dead anyway. Like, what does it matter? Does it matter? You know, I mean, legacy and
All of that is very subjective. Is diverged a bit from the actual question. All of that is subjective.
At that.
Yeah, to AJ, legacy might mean a lot. To you, it might mean nothing. To me, it might mean moderately. So it's all subjective. The answer of your question is that what will be funny to you in 10 years' time, everything will be funny. And the meaning of this whole life is supposed to be that you're supposed to live in the moment, because the moment is all you have to actually to live. Everything else is actually, it's gonna come and go. I mean, money is gonna come and go, like you said. You know, parents are gonna come and go, situations are gonna come and go, business ventures are gonna come and go, money, all of those things. So yeah, unfortunately, AJ diverged a little bit from the question, but yeah, that's where you are. So it's all subjective, Adi. It's all subjective.
yeah.
In short,
So
what Reza is saying is don't take life so seriously. We're not making it out alive anyway. Just live in the
No,
present.
that's
Just live in
exactly.
the present and be happy. None of us are making it out of this thing alive anyway. So stop taking it so
Yeah,
seriously.
that's exactly why my
yeah, no, you're
sentiments.
right.
And the thing is, yeah, and it's not about just being happy, because you have to, as a human being, you have to go through all the emotions. But at least live in that moment, going through all of those emotions: happiness, sadness, depression, laughing, crying, all of those things. It's part of life, it's part of humanity. And everything will change. When you wake up tomorrow morning, everything that you went through today is going to be completely different.
There's one of
Come say
Adi's
hello to
kids.
everybody.
There's his
No, no,
legacy.
she barged her way in. She totally barged her way, and this is the youngest. She barged her way in.
Well,
Hello,
Let's
she's
little
just see
about
one.
if
to
we can
be.
find your time.
She's about to make her first appearance on
Bye.
social media, as this went
She's
live
our
now on Twitch. But your other kid's
she's
on
our fourth.
Twitch, right? She's our first guest.
She's
Yeah,
our
we've
first
got
guest,
we've got a
guys.
YouTube, we've got a gaming channel. We'll find your dummy now. We'll get somebody will come take you now. So this is what I think. So hold on.
Hello.
Come and get her, please, and then close the door. Akiva, come. Come and close the door. Take her, please, nicely, slowly. Yeah, here's the other here. Come, Salah.
Hello.
This
Hello.
is what
Hello,
happens,
the red.
when you. I'm not saying. Okay, everyone go nicely, slowly. Take her slowly. There we go with him. Go.
We've
Okay.
we've got
So this is what I.
we've got Rez's camera that's gone sideways. Yeah. No.
And
Okay.
I've got some visitors. So,
And you've brought our guests into the studio.
nah, it's all yeah, exactly. So when it comes to something you certain of today that you may laugh at in 10 years, what I find fascinating is the Facebook memories of stuff that you posted 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I have to but laugh at myself sometimes. I mean, 10 years ago, whatever, I posted something about whatever. And I do enjoy reading that stuff because it reminds me of the headspace that I was in or what I was thinking. What I try not to do too often is to delete it because I'm embarrassed of something that I said or whatever.
Yeah.
Because,
No, but you must
it's
never
like the
delete that
battle
idea.
scars are actually what make you who you are. Okay?
Yeah.
What make you who you are today. Like the tattoos that you got and all this stuff. You wouldn't be the person that you are today if it wasn't for that stuff. Okay, so that's the first thing. Is I do enjoy the 10-year reminders. Um, the one thing that I think about is that at the moment I work in the insurance and finance space, the software space with actuaries, and I am certain my mindset is that it's a generational business. We're going to be doing this for the next 20 to 30 years. And that's my headspace. And that's okay. Like, I'm happy to sort of not try to take over the world and have 50 companies. and look back and say, wow, can you imagine if I'd only stuck it out with the actuaries? Because unfortunately, what I did also learn is that it's nice to try to take over the world, but it's okay to just survive as well. We're going to do brilliantly in the actuary space, but I always find that people that they say they're going to become multi millionaires and billionaires, and nothing will stop them and all that kind of stuff. And so something that I'm certain about is that I'm going to try to hold on to stay in the actuary space for as long as I can. And in 10 years' time, if I look back and we've progressed further than that, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe that I only thought that we were going to stop there. Look at how much more we've achieved. That, it's fine. It's fine if I'm certain today and that changes. But I also don't want to get ahead of myself. And there's like all these books, what's your moonshot and all that kind of stuff. And I appreciate that. And I want to do amazing things. And I do action amazing things. I reach out to my global network. We try and get clients in Hong Kong, and we have already clients in Asia, and got clients all over the world, in Australia, all over the world. And if you'd asked me 10 years ago if this was going to be the case, I would have just said, you're crazy, absolutely crazy. So something that I'm certain about is that I'm happy to just put my head down and try to become the best in our industry for the next 20 to 30 years. That's fine as well. And if I look back and I go, wow, I can't believe I was so small-minded, like, look how much more happened, that's okay as well.
Yeah, but are you a believer that what you're going with now is based on the current information that you have at hand now? And let's say within a few years, the general economics of your whole business changes and you've got a whole different set of information. Although, as you're saying, your core ideology is to stick it out in the one, as you said, the 30,000, what they say, 30,000 hours on something to make you a master. But as much as you're saying that, okay, you are happy doing what you're doing on the basis of it is what keeps you surviving, although it's not shooting out the lights at the moment. In 5 years' time, there could be an immense higher demand for what you do. And then all of a sudden, what you're doing right now in 5 years' time actually is the thing that shoots out the lights and does a $1 trillion IPO like Mr. Musk recently just did. So it's the basis of what you're saying is that you're doing the best that you can with what you've got now. And in due time, every time something comes, you're going to see what it is. And the way that I actually see businesses like yours and the direction of the whole world and economics things are going, a lot more people are going to become reliant on virtual actuary systems such as yours and virtual ability to connect with people on a serious level. So
Guys,
yeah, you
guys, go
you may
inside.
not
Guys, go inside. Okay, go
you
inside.
may not
There's no doubt
you
that
may
the
not
AI stuff. How many kids has this got? Told you I made 2,000 cups of tea this year.
Yeah, he's
You
shooting
thought I
out
was
the lights
joking?
with having children. He's definitely shooting out the lights in that
I thought it
category.
was I thought it was a competition. I had 5 kids.
Well done to you,
But
Addy.
Reza's winning. Reza's winning this one with 0 kids. Trust me, he's got a lot less gray hairs than both of us.
So there's no doubt that the AI has changed what could happen in the next. I mean, professional services, is changing. You're not going to have 5,000 people in a bank anymore. You're not going to have 50,000 people in a global consulting firm anymore, etc., etc., etc. So you're right. Things are going to change, and it's encouraging and it's scary. I try not to overthink about the scary part and rather just try to create the encouraging part.
Okay, so
Look, you
Addy, is
just
it
do your
safe to
best
say
with
that
what you've got at the moment based on the information that you got at the moment and see how it
no,
goes.
but hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. So basically, what both of you guys are saying is the one thing that you're both certain of, that everything is going to change and everything is going to evolve. So there we go. That's
Pretty
both
much,
what you guys are saying. There.
pretty much
So
in short,
the
because
yeah. So the
when I started my
so
business,
the
it was nothing what my business is now.
well, that's the only certainty that you do have. The only certainty that you have that everything is going to evolve. That's what's going to happen, and everything will change. Now the next question comes in.
100%.
That was the next question that Adi had. So that's the important part.
What has been the most expensive lesson of your life? A discussion on mistakes, setbacks, painful experiences that taught us more than any mentor, university, or book. What has been the most expensive lesson of your life?
Yeah, I can answer
Most
that for you
expensive
straight
lesson.
off the bat.
The most expensive lesson of my life, guys, is my stubbornness to actually learn from my mistakes for quite some time and not letting go of
But
those mistakes.
you're still stubborn.
I am still stubborn, but I am less stubborn than I was then, back in the days. So
So
my,
you're from a 10 you're from a 10 stubborn to like an 8 stubborn now. We're getting places.
I think
We're
I've,
going.
I, I think I've come to about a 5 now. So I think the most expensive lesson I've learned is
Okay.
that
Okay. You
my
can live.
inability to be, my inability to be fluid has cost me a lot more than I would have ever imagined. Is Adi still there?
As the river flows. Do you
But
still,
you
yes.
still, what's nice is you're
17
still young.
children.
You're still young. And what's nice is, before we are 55, let's say, we
Yeah.
certainly have a good 20 years after that of like solid,
Yes.
solid, solid building, solid enjoyment, solid joy. And that's, there's still that so much can be accomplished from the age of 55. The truth
Yes.
is that, I mean, I don't think either of you are older than 55, but basically what's nice is you can learn that lesson, and you can recorrect it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fluid. What did Bruce Lee say? Flow like water, right? That's what Reza is getting in his later years. Is
So I'm
what
gonna
he's
go
Well, I'm
second
trying
this
to
time,
get.
and then I'm gonna let Arash finish this
Yeah.
this question off. And you know what? Interestingly, I have an arcade. Hmm?
What happened?
What's that?
Rose,
Yeah.
you said something.
Hello. No, I
This is our
didn't. I
first
was
show,
waiting for
viewers.
Adi.
Just remember, we're getting.
Okay. No, it's cool.
Okay,
So
okay.
I've got an arcade machine, and interestingly enough, it's got like a lot of games, and one of the games is actually a Bruce Lee fighting game. Believe it or not, Bruce Lee literally had a fighting game on the arcade machine. Didn't even know that. I'm a big game collector, obviously, and I have all the arcade games and all that stuff as well. One of them's a Bruce Lee game. So hold on. Daddy's busy now, boy. Go outside, please. Go. Okay, guys, go out. Everybody, go. I don't know where the dummy is. Go. So, okay, come sit on my lap. Come sit with Daddy. You want to sit with Daddy?
Thank God that it's three brothers doing this, and neither of us mind anything else. Because imagine if we were trying to be serious here. Me
Nothing I
smoking
can
a
do at this
cigar,
point.
me smoking a cigar because this is the only peaceful time I get away from everyone. Adi's got 19 children in the house. Reza's quality is on a Nokia 1998. So thank God we're not trying to be serious here.
I don't know why. I don't know why I'm having network issues.
Why don't
But
you
your
jump onto the
quality is
Wi-Fi?
not too
Adi,
good
go. The
either.
floor is yours. Come.
Go, while I'm
Mine
trying to
looks
fix
very
this
smooth on my
network.
side.
So
Yeah, on
no,
my
take
side
your
it's not
time. Take
looking
your
too
time. So
lacquers.
so one of the most expensive lessons of my life, because I have two lessons. One of them, I'm going to change it up slightly. So one of them is a positive lesson and one of them is an expensive lesson. So the expensive lesson was this guy that I made friends with in standard 8 that that came into our class. Like at that point, I was actually like a decent student. I was a decent student and I was not bad at maths. And this guy came into our class from a new school, and he was like, I don't know, he had this like crazy hairstyle, and like I instantly liked him, and he was flipping naughty, and he like instantly I was like, whoa, look at this guy, and he just influenced me so badly. He taught me like how to smoke cigarettes and like how to play tok-toki and like just naughty stuff. And I literally went from actually being quite a decent student with quite a decent academic trajectory to basically like having no care for academics at all. And what transpired after that is I sort of just corrected it in my finals, but I mean I sort of lost interest in academics, and as a result of that I had to hustle quite hard in my 20s. So that was and then it sort of corrected itself slightly in my 30s, and fortunately when I got into my 40s and the last 8 years or whatever, it like corrected itself. But that was a harsh lesson, was who you make friends with in high school, okay, can make a huge difference to your trajectory in your 20s and how tough you have it in your early working life. The lessons I learned, it all worked out. But I didn't have it as easy, let's say, as maybe some of the guys that got their degrees and then got like decent jobs in their 20s. So that was an expensive lesson. But what was a good lesson was in my 20s, I also decided to follow my dream of music and DJing, and like to become a DJ. Like I wanted to be an international DJ, and I moved to London, and I basically left everything and I went to DJ. And I got it out of my system in my 20s that instead of working in the corporate world, I would be in the entertainment industry. Now, while that was useful, is because I did get it out of my system and I learned in my late 20s that, in fact, stuff that I don't want to be in the entertainment industry or the music industry as a musical artist, but actually that the corporate world is the secret to success, because, well, in a way, because then you can have money in the bank and then you can buy all the stuff you want and you can do whatever you want. No point in being a broke artist. Now, the reason that was a good early lesson to learn is because I was able to recorrect it and then enjoy the second half of let's say, my 30s and my 40s. Some people, they work in the corporate world, okay, and then, they've got a career, and then their late 30s, early 40s, or whatever, they leave all that and they go, I'm not happy. I always wanted to do calligraphy, or I always wanted to be a DJ, or I always wanted to be a dancer. I wanted to go live on an island in Thailand. I don't care if I don't have any money, at least I'm happy. The problem is as they get into their 50s, they don't have any cash, and your passion, you start hating like what you're doing because you're totally broke, and you're struggling for money, and like most people I know don't enjoy being broke. So the problem is if you leave a corporate career to follow your dream and your passion, it's fun for the first couple of years until you realize it actually sucks being broke. It's not so easy to make money out of being a dancer or being an actor or whatever. So following your passion and leaving a corporate career behind, it's not so easy to correct that. I was very lucky that I learned that lesson early, that in fact following your dreams of like the arts was actually a bad idea, and I was able to correct it later and within enough time to actually lay down a career before I turned 50. So that was some lessons that I learned that worked out quite well.
Yeah, it's almost the same as I always say with people that don't have money and they want to set up charities and give towards charities, but you end up being one of the people that needs the charity within your own charity. You need to, and this is a very important thing that maybe I learned later on as well. And it also came with me in my business. When I was younger, I wasn't even that phased about business and money, and I was very reliant on Reza, my brother, figuring it out for me and the family and all of that. And even when I started my business, it was more about the actual passion of trying to do what the original business was trying to do. And then you start actually realizing that you are never going to be able to fulfill your passion unless you fundamentally can figure out how to have a full jug for yourself to pour from you onto others. And the theory, it was like almost a breakthrough for me. I don't know if it was that all of a sudden I made lots of money and I saw the life you can have with making lots of money, and I never went back to not worrying about making lots of money. And, with more money, more problems. But, fundamentally, I think it just came over generations, because if you look at our parents' generations and the guys before them, even if it was, even if you didn't like what you're doing, just suck it up, buttercup, and get it done. Because this is the thing that puts food on the table. This is the thing that makes money. And we don't really care about your passion. Just suck it up, buttercup, and do what you got to do to provide for yourself and for your family. And on your spare time, you can fundamentally go and do whatever you want to do and start a rock band in your garage. And when you feel comfortable enough that you are stable for the rest of your life to do it, because exactly like you said, I've also seen certain people in phenomenal jobs all of a sudden decide they don't like their job and go and become DJs. And within 5 or 10 years, they broke. And they don't get to enjoy being a DJ. They don't get to enjoy pursuing their passion because they're in a constant state of not enjoying life, because it's very difficult. And I'm very happy for the new generation that believes you go after your dreams and your passions and your desires, but it's very difficult to wake up every day and worry about how you're paying rent or your bond or feeding your kids or paying medical aid or putting people through school. And the new age mentality of, just chill, bro, everything will come. It's very fantastic, but it doesn't come. I've seen many people tell me, chill, it will come. And it never came until I stopped chilling. I was actually one of the chill, bro, it will come kind of guys. It just never came until I started realizing, suck it up, buttercup, and go and do what you've got to do to become successful in your business before you start doing the things that make you, I enjoy doing that. It's very difficult to run around trying to make money out of, I enjoy doing that. And I've seen plenty people bomb out in that, and it's a good thing that you got that at an earlier age. I got it a little bit later on in life, because I think I've only been a human for about 10 years. For the first 30 years of my life, I was just this thing. I don't actually know. I was crazy. I was unstable. I was wild. You both know about the way I used to be. I was not fully there. So yeah, that's a very solid one there, Adi. And Rez, we can see that you've got some serious telecommunication issues there. So
Yeah, no,
Rez,
I'm
you
not
still with
winning with
us,
this
or you're not
video.
with us there? Have we
I'm
lost
with you
you?
guys. Can you hear
The
me?
third
Can you hear
musketeer.
me? Can you hear me?
That's fine.
Yeah,
Just switch
leave it
it on.
off. Yeah,
Leave
we
it
can
off.
hear you.
Leave it off for now. It's all right. So, yeah, Adi, you and I are very aligned on you got it a little bit earlier than I did in life. Suck it up. suck it up, buttercup, and go do what you got to do to make the money before you worry about your feelings and how things make you feel. And our parents were phenomenal at that lesson. It's not something that flies around these days.
I hear you. So now we're going to move over to question number 3. Would you rather be liked or respected? It's a trade-off, basically, between approval, authenticity. It's a tough one.
You missed me on question 2 of what is my biggest lessons I learned in life.
Yeah, go. Sorry, go. Yeah.
Well, mine is a very simple one, and I can say this, and I often say this. And Adi, if you remember the last time we had tea, human beings have been my biggest disappointment in life. I have been promised numerous good things and numerous bad things. And my biggest lesson in life was to not rely on others more than yourself. Maybe I wasn't great at it because I would become very reliant on what people would say and believe in them more than myself. Now I've changed a little bit of my mindset is, I'm not a negative person. You both know that. I'm actually one of the happiest guys in the room, although sometimes people say, why does that guy always look so angry? Inside, I'm very happy. My mindset is not that I'm negative on people's words anymore, but before I would place a lot more trust in it than I do now. And I would almost have discussions with people and say, okay, if that person says that this is where we're going and I can rely on them steering the ship, I believe in them. But now what's happened is, although you will promise me that you can steer the ship, I'm going to steer the ship and you can come along and you can say what you said. And if it comes through, phenomenal. Now we're both doing phenomenal. And if it didn't come through, well, then I didn't lose out like I used to before. I used to be very reliant on people's promises, and I used to be very reliant on thinking that people would have my back as I would have their back. And fundamentally, I like this word fundamentally lately because I like to go into the core of things, of the foundation of understanding things. As you get older, you stop asking yourself, why did that person do that thing that they did? And you actually ask yourself, what made them think to do that thing that they did? So you start tapping in more into the fundamentals of understanding people. And on my side, I still got plenty of people promising me the world, but I'm just not as reliant as I used to be on it. Chris, you are a phenomenal third host with your come and go. You're like the Phantom of the Opera here. Okay, Adi, let's go on to your third one. That's my answer about my biggest lesson was relying on people more than relying on myself.
Yeah, I mean it's a tricky balance.
Suck it up, buttercup.
Suck it up,
Suck
buttercup.
it up, buttercup. This is not a cute show. The thing is, if we did this show 20 years ago when all of us were a lot cuter, we would not be saying these hard truths of reality. The hard truth of reality is suck it up, buttercup, and do what you got to do to make money. Then go and worry about your passion. Your debit orders don't care about your passion.
Yeah, it's true. And there's nothing worse than being let down by people that you relied on. And I believe that the default, to add to what you're saying, the default should be that you're gonna carry everything yourself. And in an exception, you will be happy for somebody else to steer the ship sometimes. It's just a bonus and it's an exception, as opposed to because then you can rely on yourself. You're not going to let yourself down. Basically, if you're a leader, you're going to make sure that stuff happens. Back in the day, I used to say a lot of there's no remarks column. It's just about the results. No one cares about the remarks. No one cares about the excuses of why it didn't happen. It's just show me the flipping results. Don't even show me. Just do it, and I'll see the results. Yeah.
No. But with the new age pansy generation, you do get participation trophies, though, Adi. Our times have changed. People will come and completely suck at what they were trying to do, and they will still get a pat on the back and say, "Great job," just so that they what is it called, that their spirit doesn't break. I'm a firm believer in that your spirit should break when you do a bad job, so that
Absolutely.
maybe next time you don't do a bad job and stop doing a bad job constantly and being told great job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tricky balance, especially when you hire people to not discourage them, but at the same time you want them to succeed. You don't want to be too harsh with them. So it is a tricky balance between being honest and being encouraging when they don't get it 100% right. Okay. So would you rather be liked or respected? Back in the day, it's a tough one because back in the day, I was a people pleaser. I wanted to be liked, but it was at the detriment of my own joy because I was making sure that I wasn't letting other people down, but I was letting myself down. Okay, so I think being respected for the things that you've achieved, as opposed to just outright saying, "I demand respect." In my book, respect is earned. Okay, and I've got pretty flippin' high standards these days. Back in the day, I had lower standards, but these days I've got pretty high standards. And so I don't demand respect, but I I try to do things that by default anybody who looks up to me will feel that is worthy of respect. And that's the thing, is not to talk too much or just do, and you look back. And so why do you want the respect as opposed to being liked? Well, it's not an ego thing. It's about the fact that you want people to not waste your time. You want people to communicate with you at a certain level, because then you can perform at your highest level. So when you're interacting with people that are performing at their highest level, when they're interacting with you, it's because they respect you. They're putting effort in. They are trying to be their best out of respect for you. So therefore, you'll end up hanging around with people that are operating at their highest level. And when they are acting
Truth.
at their highest level, it forces you to act at your highest level out of respect for them. So you have a self-fulfilling prophecy. The people that you hang around with are who you become. So if you've got all these people that are trying to be respectful of each other and achieve their highest potential, what you land up with is a pretty high standard
You
of
end up with a
professionalism.
quality
Yeah,
control. It's almost a quality control system within itself.
absolutely. So the thing is that I want to work in a quality environment. I want our service, I want our delivery, I want everybody that interacts with us to feel that experience of theirs was quality. Okay, and when it comes to being liked, as much as one says you don't care whether people like you, it's tricky because now if somebody doesn't like you, you're like, well, is it screw that guy, or is it like it hurts? Like, why don't they like me? Did I do something wrong? And so as much as I say I don't care whether people like me, unfortunately I do care. I do care. Unless the person has wronged me first. So if they've wronged me first, if they have been the doers first, sure, that's another story. Because then not only do I not care if you like me or not, I'm gonna you've created a monster, basically. I'm gonna it's war, my friend, especially if you were the doers first. So, but when it comes to just normal people, let's say, that haven't like wronged you, I want them to like me, but I don't try to please them. So I hope that that makes sense.
It genuinely, truly does. Phantom of the Opera keeps popping in, popping out. So we're going to need to get you your own Wi-Fi connection, get you one of the Telkom dongles. Guys, tell us, do you
Hi
like
guys.
being respected? Hello. Raz, the Razai brother that has always been liked far more than me. I'm infamously known for not being liked because I never was fazed by people's likes. As nice as I have always been to people, their likeness was not that important to me, and it was more about them respecting me, whether it was out of hatred. Because you see, they also say that there's a big respect factor in hatred, even towards other people. So let's throw the ball at Reza. They're always far more liked, Rezai, but did you always want to be more liked or more respected?
I have always been a firm believer of being more respected. Being liked by other people is the least on my value chains.
Yeah, we're not going to win with.
Yeah. So no, many people don't like you anyways, and
Raz,
they're
your
not supposed
connection
to.
is not winning
Yeah.
today.
Am I not winning again? Is it not happening?
You know, when it's not happening again. But guys, can I throw something out there? Yeah, we can hear you so here and there. You seem to pop in from the shadows. Next week we'll
Okay.
test your connection before we go live. We'll,
Yeah, we
you know,
should do
like the
that.
guy
Can
came
you
to
hear me
fix my
now?
aircon today. The guy came to, yeah, we can slightly hear you. The guy came to fix the aircon at the house today. And I wanted him to leave after he fixed it. And because, you know, he doesn't want to go back forward and not get paid, he literally said, leave the aircon on for about 20 minutes so that I can see that it's working. And I had to sit and make very small talk with a random stranger today for about 20 minutes. And he turned out to be a very nice guy. Well, we saw that the aircon worked for 20 minutes so that his invoice can get paid. So next week, we're going to do the same with Rez. We're going to talk to him for 20 minutes first before we go live with him, Adi.
Do you know what? You got to roll with the punches. I've been through worse, and I think it's actually fine. You know, the reality is that you know, it's the good, the bad, and the ugly in everything. You know, none of us are perfect. We are all a well polished second hand, all of us. You know, we've all been through flipping hell and back, and that's it. Like this should be so. It's all good. Like it's all good. Like I couldn't give a damn. You know, I think Rez is the best, and you know, if his thing doesn't work 100%, I'm gonna sleep well tonight anyway.
Reza is a gem, Adi. I come from a family of, how many of us are there? Reza,
How
there's
much is
7 of us, 6 brothers and 1 sister, and he's my favorite. You've got to think how much I love him for him to be the favorite out of them.
Very nice. So that's it, guys. That's our show for this week. You know, we did it. We stepped up to the plate, and I want to thank you two for sharing this evening with me tonight. There's probably going to be some soccer coming up, and that's a wonderful thing.
Oh, we've got 2 Rezas now. So in summary, nothing, as Reza has taught us today, is going to be relevant in 10 years' time, because at the current time, based on everything that you had, you did the best you could. We're not making it out of this life alive. So stop worrying so much. Just relax. Do the best you can every day. In 10 years' time, you will look back and laugh at numerous amounts of things. Second
And
thing,
nobody's gonna like
what
you
was it?
anyways.
It was the disappointments. No one is going to like you anyways, whether you're respected or not. You know, Joseph Stalin killed 30 million of his 20 million, somewhere around there, of his own people. And he always said, I don't care if I'm liked as long as they fear me. So he wasn't even worried about being liked or respected. He was more worried about, as long as they fear me, I will do my job. But we're not going to follow Stalin on that one. We don't want a global mass murderer again. We've got enough problems in the world. So, in short, do your best. No one is going to like you. No, not no one. You still will always have your people. You know, as much as I have gotten upset at some of my people, somehow I always find a way that my people always get just as upset with me. And that gives me no leeway to ever be upset at anybody, to be dead honest. As much as people have disappointed me in the past, of people that have taken advantage of me doing nice things for them, which has cost me lots of money, a lot of money. I have lost enough money in the last few years that I could have been with Elon Musk up there in Los Angeles. And, you know, fundamentally, what I actually learned after being upset at those people is that I could easily have made those mistakes to them as they did to me. So, what is it that I'm going to hold on to a grudge, being upset at people about things? So, just let it go. Do your best that you can with people. They will choose if they like you or respect you. But as you said, Adi, do your best to be respected because it allows people to have a form of respect for you where they will do their best for you out of respect for you. And that allows you to become a better person because out of the respect and the good quality that people are giving you, you're bound to give the same good quality back. So that one is going to stick with me for the rest of the week.
So,
You know, I've got a goldfish
so
memory. It might disappear.
be a good human. Be a good human.
Well, yeah, I'll be a good human, but don't be a nice guy. You know, I actually just like reconnected a relationship with a guy that I haven't spoken to, I think, in 10 years. And in 20 years ago, me and him used to even fight. And I've actually learned now what a good person he is, but he's not a nice person. He's not a nice person. He is very rough around the edges and he will not take shit from anybody. And I actually helped some people sort out an issue amongst each other because two sides were both being egotistical and they didn't decide to sort out the issue until I made the three-way call and got everybody to sort it out. And I learned something from this guy is he's not a nice person. He is rough around the edges because his MO is that he's out to do his best for himself and his family, but he is a good man. And you learn these things as you get older. You don't need to be nice to people, but just be a good person, as Reza says. Deep,
That's
profound.
beautiful. Good closing thought. No, you're right. It makes a lot of sense. And I think there is a difference between being a good person and being nice. You know, being a good person is in your DNA. Being nice is subjective. You know, like, why do I have to be nice to you? I don't owe you anything. But if I'm a good person, like, I agree with what that guy's saying. You know, you don't have to be nice to everybody. As long as you're nice to your wife.
So you can have five
Make
kids
lots
like
of
I do.
babies. Yeah, make lots of babies.
Adi has got he built himself with the most classic ancient times retirement plan of all time. Have five children. Out of the five, one of them is bound to become a millionaire and look after the rest of the family. That is probably one of the best retirement systems that you tapped into there, Adi, my brother. Out
You
of the
know,
five, one of them is bound to carry the other four.
it's so interesting. Like, my wife actually cares about their homework and stuff, and she sits with them and does homework, and she like literally cares about that stuff. And me, like, I literally couldn't give a damn like what happens with their studies. And as long as they are progressing in the TV games and they're having fun and they are fearless and they are cracking good jokes and their brain is working, you know, sometimes I'll like, if they're watching a TV program, I will put something else on so that they can listen to both. And then I'll ask them a question about the second thing that they're watching, just to make sure that like their brain is multitasking. And as long as like I can pick up that they are multitasking, that they are becoming witty, that they're becoming like smart, like a different like smart, like that, like street smart, like you can pick stuff up quickly. For me, that's what I care about. Like that's why the TV games are so nice, because it's about problem solving. It's about, can you find the thing to beat the boss? Like for me, that is way more important. Such a fascinating thing about how to like raise kids. What's going to make you proud of them? I don't care how they do at school. School's a waste of time as far as I'm concerned, especially what they teach at school. It's all nonsense. But the one thing that will like make you successful is, can you hold your own, when you get out of school? That's what I think. I know that's totally off topic, but
Yeah,
No,
but
but I second that.
I second that, but I also will play devil's advocate for school. Because school does teach you how to deal with things if you handle school properly. Certain people perceive school wrong. They think that it's about the marks and the badges and the A student. And I don't really think that's what school is about. I think school is putting you in an environment with other human beings and giving you problems on an everyday basis. And you got to learn how to deal with life, because when you come out of school, there is nobody that's giving you detention if you get things wrong. I think that detention is actually called prison. So they do try their best in school to teach you how to deal with situations if you perceive school properly and you treat school properly. But the whole concept of worrying about getting the A marks and does the teacher like me and does this one like me and all of that, yeah, you guys got my vote on that one. But school will teach you a good core understanding on how to deal with life and life problems and dealing with people. Because you also look at a lot of homeschool children. Homeschool children have no ability on dealing with people at a later on stage in life.
So
So
now,
that's
so basically, social dynamics is what the school is for, not for the marks.
my opinion, and learning how to deal with shit is what school is all about.
The social
How to go to
dynamics.
how to go to school and not get your ass kicked every day is a very good lesson that you can learn in school. Because if you come out of school and you're getting your ass kicked every day, there's nobody that's going to give you a plaster and tell you, "Oh, sorry, boy, everything will be all right."
Definitely agree.
Well, these are the hard
gentlemen,
lessons you learn.
I've
see you
also got to
later.
go.
Have a
See you
I'll
good
later,
one.
catch you guys
guys.
later. And everybody doing their best to become the next Elon Musk. I wish you guys all the best. The world's biggest, the beauty of Elon Musk, and it was actually one of the local ANC guys. I think he said it to me. He said a South African went to America and became the world's richest man, becoming a tenderpreneur. Because that is pretty much what Elon Musk did by getting all the corporate contracts. So the tenderpreneuring seems to be in the South African genes, no matter where you go in the world. And we created the world's first trillionaire by getting all of the corporate contracts.
God bless.
God
All right,
bless, my
guys.
friend. Thanks
God
for having
bless.
me.
Raza, we'll catch you with better
Thanks.
connection next time. Adi, you're a gem
Good
as
time.
always.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.